Welcome back to another installment of PB JAX, Pioneers, Builders, City of Jacksonville. My name is Randall Thomas. I'm the host as always, but the guest is the coolest dude I know, Mr. Tim Ager. Welcome to PB JAX, dude.
Randall, thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. I just appreciate that you just showed up, suited and booted to be on this show. I'm just here in a polo and shorts.
Always, you gotta, it's a brand now, so I have to do it.
We've talked extensively about the brand, but the hat, we never talked about the hat.
I had to hit you with the finest.
Okay.
I got to bust out the feather, it's noteworthy.
It looks good, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you showed up presidential today. Yep. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for being on the show. We were introduced pretty recently. You and I have done so much in the city parallel, and we've just never crossed paths until recently. But ever since we crossed paths, we can't get away from each other. And it's been cool, dude.
So Ron Armstrong's event. We're grassroots type of guys,
We
are
really
really trying to make the city better. And I love that you have this podcast, and amazing.
Thank you, dude. I'm here to get to know you and what you're doing and what you stand for, and then how I can help you and kind of take it from there. Let's riff. In terms of agenda, we'll just ask a couple questions. You wanted this to be a conversation, so you can ask me questions. And then let's get this thing published and out there so people know there's two dudes in Jacksonville who really want to make this place better. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. I got to start with who is Tim Ager. So you are not from Jacksonville, Florida.
No, I'm from New Hampshire, the Granite State, live free or die. And that's kind of my motto. I'm a free thinker. I can't be bound by the system. I used to have a real job. I used to be in the military, but it made me miserable. So I'm out here as an entrepreneur, running sports leagues, wearing crazy hats, whatever I want,
Yeah, and nice suits.
Yeah.
So New Hampshire, how long were you there?
I grew up there until I was 22, graduated college. Then I went in the Air Force. I moved to Destin, Florida, then Wright Pat, which is in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
Then I moved to Kansas, Oklahoma, 4 months in Mexico, back to New Hampshire, back to Ohio. Now I'm here. So I've been all around. I've been everywhere.
Dude, that's wild.
Been to 15 countries.
I've been to 10. So you had me beat.
Yeah.
And it's like 6 or 7 of those were deployment. So that's not fair.
Fellow military.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you for your service. Yeah, thank you. How long have you made all those stops, but you came here. So how long have you been here? 5 years.
Yeah.
COVID, basically.
Yeah, I came here in 2021 and I loved it because the first half I was in Ohio and it was like, wear your mask to the bathroom, like that was going to do anything. And everyone was like, oh, you have to get, it was just weird, dude. And then I moved down here and like the bars were full and everyone was partying. And I was like, I'm here. This is my state now. In
2021, yes, we were like sick of it.
Yeah, it was already way over by the time I moved down here.
Yeah, I was living at a condo at the beach. I moved in January 1st, 2020. By March 15th of 2020, I wasn't allowed to leave my condo.
Right.
That lasted for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Tops. That's when and they reopened the beach, and I'll never forget. Now that I know you've been here for 5 years. So in 2016, we had Hurricane Matthew. One of the most famous things about Hurricane Matthew was it never really directly hit us. It just stayed out on the coast and just kept moving up. So just the bands kept hitting the beach and it just kept going up and it wiped the dunes out completely. So if you go to the beach now, we have the dunes back, but for years they were flat. And I'll never forget CNN posted a photo of Jacksonville Beach saying like, look at these super spreaders, look at all these people gathering on the beach in Florida, blah, blah, blah. And the picture...
There's no dunes?
Well, there were dunes. So if the picture was accurate, there would have been no dunes.
Right.
But they used a picture from pre-Matthew, so before 2016, where the dunes were like 8 foot high. I was like, man, y'all really will do anything. I don't either. And especially since the podcast, like if I sat down with Ron Armstrong and he told me something, I would believe him.
Right.
But he'll say a whole paragraph of something and they'll clip out 3 words and put it together and then say, this is what he said.
You see
Yes,
that
and
hot tub thing? Or they used a fire truck to fill a
yes,
bathtub to do a baptism, and they're
yes,
like, "Is this the appropriate use of funding?" I wanted to
city. Yep.
yeah, I wanted to clap back. I'm like, 20 gallons of water? Like, what about the Doro that mysteriously burned down a week before it was set to open
Mm.
when you shut down the fire suppression system? Like, what about that article? Where's that at? Where's the
Yeah.
fraud? No questions on that? You're questioning a bathtub full of water? These
Yeah.
people are shameless.
It's interesting too, because the way Ron framed it, it took a lot of media quote unquote training for me. Because the way Ron framed it was, how amazing is it that the city would come out and fill up these bathtubs so that people's souls can be saved?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a positive way to look at it. And then
Uh,
the way it came out after the fact was, what is it? Mayoral candidate Ron Armstrong misappropriates city usage or city funding
yeah.
to fund baptisms. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And then they go spend $60 million on Navi that everyone knows from the beginning is never going to work,
we'll
and
get,
they're just stealing money.
we'll get in. Yeah,
Sorry.
we'll get into that. Jumping the gun. Okay. Yeah. And we went on a tangent. I just wanted to say beach, COVID, I lived through it. It was interesting because, yes, we very quickly moved on from it. And then you got here in 21.
Yeah.
No doubt we were done.
I was,
Everybody was out of the house. We were done.
yeah.
So, well, welcome to Jacksonville, man. I would say easily you have made a hell of an impact in 5 years. And I
Thank you.
mean that sincerely. I saw your face everywhere on my Facebook and Instagram page way before I ever met you. And I've known several people that have attended your events, including the volleyball league and including the entrepreneur meetups and the men's dinners and stuff like that. So what you've been doing has clearly captured people's attention.
Thank you.
And so great job. When you got here in 2021, what did you do? Like, what did you do to like generate income? How did you kind of plant your roots?
So when I rolled up here, I was just bored. Like, it was during COVID, nobody was doing anything. So I just put as many events on my schedule as possible. I found chamber events, BNI, Meetup app, on and on. And I went to this one meetup, which was fun. It was a Taco Tuesday, and I kept coming back. And eventually I just took it over, and I started doing 2 events a week. And I just was having so much fun, and so many people were meeting each other, and I was making a little name for myself. So
Mm.
I just at 2 events a week for years.
Yeah. So Taco Tuesday, where was the taco place?
Cantina Louie in Southside.
Okay. Dude, Cantina Louis,
I,
the jam, the
yeah,
surf and turf
surf and
tacos.
turf,
Oh my
man.
God, man.
No, I love me some surf and turf.
I tell people that you don't get to be my size on accident. Like you, there were a lot
Many surf and turf tacos. Okay,
a lot of work went into this build.
maybe I
I'm
don't
telling
like
you,
turf.
yeah, it's so good. All right, and then so it spun off. Where along the journey of hosting the events did you say, I have a viable business model?
When I started the Instagram and the Facebook, and a lot of people started joining the group, and I started getting 50 people to show up with one message out on the internet. And I was like, is this normal? Like, it was
No,
too easy.
it's not normal. That's the thing.
Yeah. And so I was like, man, I'm onto something. And I really hadn't made money until like the volleyball league. It was mainly just like a side hobby to meet people and for other people to meet people. Like, that's the whole purpose. Come to my group and meet people. And then when you're done with my event, just hang out with your new friends. And so it's just a way.
Mouth too,
Yeah.
right after that. Okay, but how'd you flip the page to make it like revenue generating?
So I was kind of resentful that I was spending all this time and, not making any money. I didn't feel like I was valuable enough. I was like, man, I'm giving all this value, but I'm not receiving it back. So that's when I switched into the volleyball league. And now it's even better because they pay me, but they're committed. Like, when you pay, now you have to show up. And so I have 8 weeks of people showing up and meeting each other. So it's better than the parties and the events where if I had 8 weeks in a row, maybe you'd go to 3 or 4 and somebody else would go 3 or 4 of them, but they'd be different ones. So they would miss each other and people would still make friends, but now it's like a really solid crew. And it went from 8 teams a year ago. Now I'm at 26.
Dude.
And I'm going to try to make 50 next year.
Yeah.
And have 3 or 4 leagues going at once.
So you're a growth minded dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just like nothing's good enough.
Never.
You just got to keep pushing.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. That's how I go too.
Yeah. I get bored easily. So I have to always be doing something stressful or difficult or solving.
Yeah. I totally get that. This is not public knowledge, but I guess it's about to be. on Sunday, I finished my manuscript for my book
Yeah.
and I turned it in. It's being edited right now. And nobody knew I was writing a book. And I'm like, I got the podcast. I work at the Link. I am a recruiter 50 hours a week. I do these
Yes.
speaking engagements. They're like, dude, where in the world do you find the time? And I'm like, guys, once you do something big and get on the other end of it, it's like a tattoo. You got to get another one. So you
Yeah.
got to do it again and again and again and again. And now I'm screwed because I wrote a book. So now, all right, how do I make this bigger?
Now you got to write a trilogy.
Yeah, I got to write something else.
Yep.
Yeah, how to dress like Tim Ager.
Yeah.
When you and I hung out at Keen's, man, one of the things I noticed, you and I, we are not big drinkers. So when you throw parties, which are typically centered around alcohol, like how are you able to be in that world, in that space, and throw something that's so alcohol centric while still making it fun for everybody, for people like me who show up and don't drink beer or drink alcohol? Like how are you able to kind of push it that way and keep the momentum flowing while removing like the biggest part of it, at least on your side of things, like taking the alcohol away?
I think I'm just a good host. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy introducing people to new people. Like I enjoy stirring the pot,
Yeah.
and I don't need alcohol to do that. And don't get me wrong, I've drank a lot. Like, I'm just giving it up recently because it hurts my body. I wake up the next day and I'm like tired and I got stuff to do. And I'm like, why did I have the like 2 drinks and now I can't function? So I just, I'm blessed with the ability to connect people, and that's what gets me off. Like I get fired up when I'm like, and then I see someone the next day, they're in their Facebook or their Instagram. I'm like, you guys are hanging out because of
Yeah.
my event. I knew it.
And how cool is that?
It's
a
so
good
cool.
feeling.
Yeah.
So when you meet people, like if you meet a stranger and you shake your hand, you're like, hey, I'm Tim. Like, and the inevitable question of what do you do, or tell me about yourself? Like, how do you describe yourself to people?
I connect people.
That's
Through
just what you say?
events. Yeah. I throw events and connect people, whether it's volleyball, whether it's Taco Tuesday, whether it's a pool party at someone else's pool, whether it's at the Kava bar. Like that's all I do.
Take the volleyball league away. You have the men's dinner, the women's dinner, the entrepreneurship meetup that's been taking place at UNF. You have the pool parties, you have the socials, you have the formals.
Full moon yoga.
Yeah, yoga. You've got a ton of these things. So out of all of those, which one's your favorite?
Probably the men's dinner.
And
'Cause
why?
it's like 10 dudes dressed up as like Men in Black.
Yeah.
Looking like men. It's all like-minded guys, like I love women, of course, but like when you have a group of men, the conversations are different. Like nobody's trying to impress the girls. It's all business talks. It's all, yeah. We're talking about buying property. We're talking about, whatever, money, how to make more money, how to get more engagement online. It's boring stuff. We're talking about taxes one time, and then a girl came in and we're just like, what are you doing here? It's like boring, but it's interesting to us.
Yeah.
Right?
What's important as a business owner, you got to have those conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I don't really find that many people at when I have an event, it's open to the masses. So a lot of the times you got to
men's dinners. Yeah.
Yeah. But men's dinner, I just invite only.
Okay. When you're sitting down at the men's dinners, do y'all ever talk about things that are going on in the city of Jacksonville?
Yeah, we do all the time.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is just JTA, just how every time I drive by a bus, it's empty. I remember one time I saw a bus, it had a lot of people on it. I was like, oh, wow. And I looked over, it was 4 people. That got me an, oh, wow. There's a lot of people on this $500,000 machine, and so.
Yeah, let's talk about JTA. If we're here, let's do it. So JTA, I'm going to lay the playing field out a little bit. I'm going to give them, I don't want to say credit. That would be the wrong word, but I want to make people aware that this is not a difficult, not an easy job. It's probably a very difficult job.
Probably.
Jacksonville, Florida is 900 square miles.
Yep.
Huge city. And the infrastructure is not the same in other towns. You've been all over the place. I've been all over the place. So I've seen things that work well. But when you have a bus system and your downtown is here, and then your beaches division is here, and then your urban area is here, and your Mandarin is there, and your airport is here, and like none of them are close to each other, it's really hard to link together bus routes, trains, or or anything else. Like the transportation, trying to get that under control has got to be difficult.
Probably, yeah.
I'm just going to level that out. But they haven't always made decisions with other people's money that feel justifiable, in your opinion. Navi being one of them. So I'll start with Navi. What is your biggest problem with it?
That it's the biggest scam I've ever seen. Like, no, I do all these events. I've done 700 events. I've been downtown. I used to have black car service. I drive all around. I know thousands and thousands of people. 0 people are trying to go from the stadium to Calford Chop House and back on a Monday at like 2 p.m. You know, there's that loop that they have. It's not feasible. Nobody's going to do that. And if you are, you just get in your car and you drive the 2 minutes. So $60 million to prevent someone from a 2-minute, they have to have their car down there anyway. Like, who do you know is like getting in the bus? Is your girlfriend getting in the bus and driving downtown and taking Navi or the Skyway somewhere? Like, nobody.
No.
It doesn't exist. And like, I would say maybe if I was like sitting at home all day long, but I feel like I have the authority because I'm out every day, 7 days a week, talking to everybody. And I ask everybody and I never hear anyone. Actually, I met someone that used the Skyway the other day, but it was like once.
Yeah, the Skyway's been way before you got here in 21. It was a very hot topic.
Yeah.
It still is. So you, I don't want to say famously, but at least famously to me, you created a video and posted it online, Facebook, Instagram, etc. You're highly critical of the Navi system and of Nat Ford specifically, who's the CEO, not for much longer. But, why did you feel so compelled to do that?
Well, if he's been the CEO for 13 years and I've been here for 5 years and I look at every bus, I look at the Skyway, I look at Navi, nobody uses any of these things. So in my opinion, JTA is like an 0-15 football team. So if you're the CEO of an 0-15 football team for 13 years in a row, then you got to go, bro. I mean, it's like, what are you talking about? It's a $200 million budget you're running. 6% is brought in by revenue. You know, there's like $190 million is being taxpayer gas tax. So you go to the gas station and you're paying for a bus that nobody's using. Like, so in my opinion, he just didn't have the goods. Like, I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't know if he's a bad guy, but I know that when you're running a system that sucks horribly, then you have to go.
Yeah.
Like that's simple to me.
I had a chance to interview Nat, and the fact that he even gave me that time, he didn't have to. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And this was when Navi first came out. So Navi rolled out June 30th of 2025. I interviewed him the beginning of August 2025. And we talked about the future plans. And on the surface, if it all worked out exactly how it was supposed to, I get it. The first year was supposed to be a trial test model. The people, some people have an issue with the fact that they're autonomous vehicles, but they have a driver. But the idea was that for the first year, they'd keep a driver in the vehicle so that, there was public trust. Like, hey, man, you're not just getting in a car without a driver. You can feel safe. And then it was supposed to be a test loop, Bay Street, down to the stadium, up Forsyth, back to the JTA facility, and then back through. It was supposed to be a loop, 19 vans, every so minutes it would run. Now, the real winning piece of this was not Navi itself, but that we were going to sign a massive manufacturing deal with Holon, which was a European, I don't remember the country, but they're a European boxed car. There is no steering wheel, no nothing. It is a fully autonomous vehicle. And that they were picking an American city to build their warehouse distribution out of. Because we launched Navi, they picked Jacksonville. On the surface, great. I don't know if they're ever going to come here. So if you invest, work with me here. So if you were going to invest $60 million into Navi, let's say $100 million, you're going to invest $100 million into Navi, but you get a $200 million a year return.
Yeah, that's a good investment.
Great. That's a great investment. But right now, Holon is not street legal in America, so they have to do a lot of modifications. They have no guarantee that they're going to come here. And Navi just turned 1. And it's going to be very difficult to explain away all of these problems while the CEO steps down. The timing of it is killing me. And I hope Nat will come talk to me again.
Yeah.
But the number one word I've heard around Navi is the word boondoggle. I have talked to CFOs and CTOs and CEOs, and they call it a boondoggle. And they're like, man, this was just they pulled the wool over our eyes.
Yeah.
And you have felt very strongly about that. Ron Armstrong feels very strongly about that. Anybody that's behind the Doge committees coming in here, they feel very strongly about that. So I understand everybody's plight. I understand why people would be upset with this. There's just not enough transparency with that kind of coin.
Yeah. If they're like, hey, we're going to invest $60 million on a flyer to hope to attract $1 billion plant here, and that's going to make all these jobs, and that's going to bring in $100 million in tax revenue. We're going to pay for the stadium. If they're transparent about it, cool. But when I listened to your interview with Nat Ford, he's just like, oh, well, the communities need this, and there's safety. And he tried to explain the whole system. Like, dude, no, the system doesn't work. It's never going to work. There's no viability. There's no people driving it. It's like, he knows every detail, every gigawatt hour and every man hour and this and that of a failed system before it even went in. But if they were straight up and be like, hey, we're just trying to attract big business here and we're going to spend 60 on it, like, that's kind of risky, but I see it, but I don't know. I think that they're trying to get federal funding because they're trying to attach it to the Skyway. They're trying to take one failed system, attach it to another failed system. Because he said that, he's like, oh, this is there's federal funds. I was like, that's it. They're just trying to get federal funding. And I don't know how it works. If you look at LA, where they have the rail system, they spent $10 billion or whatever and got 1 mile of rail. They get the homeless. Like, the money's going somewhere. It's not going in, is there a yacht parked outside of his house? I don't know. He's the third highest paid CEO in America for a horrible mass transit system. And it looks very bad for Nat. If I was Nat, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to resign too. The gig's up. They figured this out.
The optics aren't good. The optics aren't good. I'm a big believer in giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But there has been now 13 months to come forward with a lot more information than what's been received. And another thing about the federal stuff and the Skyway stuff. So yeah, there was 4 phases, and the third phase was that they were going to repurpose the Skyway to fit the hold-on vehicles. So they were going to blow up the current system. The hold-on vehicles would slide in. They would be raised up, and then they would go along the Skyway and be lowered and then out on the street again. So that was a big, big part. I think that was phase 3. But do you know the name Megan Hayward?
She was the one that got fired because she brought up this is sketchy.
So Megan is always, she's been a very good friend of mine way before that happened. Her and I serve on the PS27 Foundation board together. And yes, you're right. She was kicked off the board. And I don't want to be the one to tell the story. It's not my story, but she did post about it publicly on Facebook. So I do feel this is fair game. But she alleged that she saw that there was a gap in what the ridership numbers were and what the ridership numbers that were being reported was. And the reason that was a big deal is because the ridership numbers had to be a certain amount for the grant to kick in for us to do the NABI program. So they were reporting the numbers needed for us to get the federal funding, which you've obviously touched on already. And she said, hold on, this doesn't pass the sniff test for me.
And they're like, please go.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. It's a scam. And we just have to be honest. Like, I don't have a job or an employer, so I can be vocal about it. A lot of people are scared because you see what happens to people. There's, Charlie Kirk. I don't think I'm going to get Charlie Kirked, but they don't like the truth. Like, I've been reading the Bible a lot, and it's the same thing over and over and over. The people, the honest, the righteous people are the ones that suffer the most. And so a lot of people are just like, you know what, this is too risky for me. I'm just going to stay. I see it. Dude, every major city has fraud and scams, and we're looking at it. It's obvious to me. Like, do I have the numbers? No, I just have the sniff test.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you say it's legit. Like, I can't dig into it. I saw Spencer Pratt running for LA mayor. You saw that? he obviously is the top candidate, you know, and they're like, oh, we found all these mail-in votes 7 days later, 43,103. So she wins by one. Sorry, Spencer. No, there's no fraud there. You just happen to lose. You know, obviously they're cheating, but it's how politics is. It's just how you move money and who you put. It's just, I've been around politics for 30 years. This is no, like, it's not a new thing. You just have to, people like us have to just get pissed off. You
Yep.
know?
Why do you care so much about a city you've only been in for 5 years?
I'm never leaving. I want to live here forever. And I've lived in 7 cities. I've been to 15 countries and I like it here a lot.
Okay.
So I just want it to be great. Like, I don't want to move again. I'm done moving.
Okay.
So I can't live in a mediocre, regular town with what I think is, I got abilities. So I'm trying to use them.
Okay. I love it. So if there are things you're critical about that you want to see better, you're not going to leave. There's things you love here. So let's talk about the things you love. What are they? Like, what is the thing about Jacksonville that's keeping you excited and keeping you here?
I love the weather, number one,
Yeah.
like the Sunshine State. I have this big old garden. You know, I go play volleyball every week, January and July. It doesn't matter. The people are very friendly here. I like that. I like that I can go up to the cash register, start BSing around. You know,
Yep.
this social group, everyone's been super friendly. Like, there's not a lot of drama. It's been great. So I just enjoy it.
Yep. So it comes back to what we said off camera, which is it's the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've fallen in love with the people. For me, it's the entrepreneurs and the small business owners. It's the people who are building in this town. I'm a big believer in a bottom-up economy because if you lean on the Fortune 500, it's like, let's say Black Knight, Florida Blue, et cetera, like, let's say they do a massive layoff. There's nowhere for those people to go to work. But if you have a bunch of small businesses that are employing people and the Fortune 500s do a massive layoff, well, then there's places for those people to work. So I'm a big believer. Everybody that's decided to use the infrastructure here to plant their own roots, that it energizes me quite a bit. So I'm a big fan of the people. It seems like you are as well.
Yeah.
And I do get the sense that everybody has a giving heart. So that's been really big.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunity here, is what I noticed. I
Yeah.
think there's a smaller market, so there's not as much competition.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I can roll up here and 5 years later, they're like, hey, you want to be on a podcast? I'm like, sure, me? Why? You know,
Yeah.
it seems like it's wide open for the taking here.
You're right.
And I like that. I'm ambitious. I got to get stuff done. Otherwise, I'm unhappy with myself. And Jacksonville seems like a nice spot where you can, you know, nobody's trying to cut me down at the knees. Like, nobody's
Yeah.
attacking. Yeah, not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
I'm sure after this, I'm going to get a letter in the mail. But yeah.
You have made a name for yourself. One of
Yeah.
the things that's like noticeable is you hold yourself to a standard in your appearance. Almost always in a suit. Hats are optional, but either you're in a loud suit where obviously people can see you. I've seen you in like a black tuxedo style suit, probably for the men's dinners. You have a presidential look. Even your casual looks when we were at the campaign fundraiser on the river, you just had a subdued, but you were still wearing a suit. And you said it's the way I show up. It's the way people view me. It looks like I'm put together. It looks like I'm in charge. But like, why is it so important for you to be so put together?
I think, so I've been doing social media pretty hardcore for 5 years. And I noticed that impressions, you know, like, okay, I got this many impressions on this post. I get 100,000 impressions every month or more, 200 or 300. And I realized in real life, you're making impressions too. So every time I see someone, I'm making an impression on them. So I want to make the best possible impression I can every time I roll up and see someone. And so when they see me, they're like, oh, there's Tim. And they just assume that I'm coming from somewhere or I'm going somewhere important. Because when else are you going to wear a suit? And so it's like, looks like I'm doing important stuff all the time, whether I'm not, whether I am or
Yeah.
not, you know, but a lot of times I am. Like, to me, this is important. So put on the suit. You know, anytime I go to a networking meeting, that's important. You know, I'm a networker. Anytime I host an event, it's important. And I had clients with my black car service. I wanted to make sure they knew that this was serious for me, and just want to set the, the brand and the impressions
Yeah. Okay.
high.
Is that why you want Jacksonville to look so clean too?
Yeah, I'm a very visual guy. Like I'm a photographer and process the world through my eyes. And so if I go downtown and the awnings are dirty and the street has all these little gum spots and the trash bins are dirty, it seems neglected. And I fully cleaned my house yesterday. I used to own a cleaning company. Like being clean and presentable and beautiful is how I want my city to look. And it's not right now. Like I have a cleaner's eye. I know what clean looks like. This is a
Mhm.
very clean room right here. I
Mm.
like this. I feel good. Have you ever gone to someone's house and it's dirty? You just like you don't really care about it that much. If someone's house is clean, you're like, oh, let me wipe off my ring off the table. Let me get a coaster. You take extra care of it.
That's true.
And so I really want our downtown to be clean and beautiful. And I don't think it's
Mm.
there yet. And I think I know what clean looks like. I've done 80 cleaning jobs in 365 days. Like I know what
That's a
clean looks
lot.
like. Yeah, I cleaned every day for an entire year. And I think if we cleaned it, it would be attractive. If it was attractive, people would want to come to it. If people want to come to it, businesses would form. Businesses form. Now we have an excuse to spend all this money that the taxpayers pay
Yeah.
on the River's Edge Park and all whatever crap they want to spend.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you said that, because I want for a second, you're gonna be Mayor Tim Ager. I'm making you the mayor.
Okay.
I'm giving you this magic wand, and you get to do whatever you want. What would you do, like, outside of pulling out Navi? What would you do to the city to make it what you would like it to be in
I
your
would clean
vision?
it. I would clean every street. I would pressure wash every side of the building. I would take out the awnings that were dirty. The James Weldon Park, that's right in between City Hall, which is a beautiful building, the library, that church on the corner, and there's one other, the museum. It's a beautiful square with this horrible old park. It's historic. It's our oldest park. I would take that, rip it all out, and I'd put a garden there. We can grow gardens, produce, and flowers 12 months of the year here. So I'd make it beautiful. First clean, and then I'd bring in like plants and flowers and statues and whatever else. I have friends that are good at this. Like I'd be like, yo, make this beautiful, please.
Yep,
Like all my parties, right? Like I have an empty room and I have a friend come in, like, what should we do to decorate? And, but it has to be clean. Like you can't decorate a dirty house.
fair. You're still the mayor. What about entities like the DIA, which clearly work for the city? I wouldn't say clearly, not everybody knows that. They do work for the city, and it's their job to appropriate money into certain projects, which have exclusively been Downtown Investment Authority. Are there any projects that you're a fan of? Any that you would remove? Do you think that entity is good for the city?
I don't even know what they do. I know we've been called the city of renderings.
Yes, that is a
And
very popular term.
yeah, and I saw a bunch of renderings through DIA since I've been here. I would halt the Emerald Trail. I would halt any building that's not at Calford Chop House, Bay Street, or Ocean Street. I think you have to start at a pinpoint. And the Main Street Bridge is our most iconic thing downtown, right? You can put it on a postcard. That's a great view from San Marco overlooking the city. I would start with that pinpoint. I would paint the Main Street Bridge beautiful blue. I would say, hey, Calford Chop House, the next store or the next shop over needs to be dope. The next one over on Bay, and I would make Bay Street
Mhm.
amazing. Like any city you go to, they always have a street that's awesome.
Yes,
Like who's going to Bay Street? Like, people don't even know Bay Street.
not many. Yeah, I'm from Austin, so
Yeah,
Sixth
Sixth Street.
Street is
We can
the
name it off the top of my head.
yeah
I've been there once.
yeah. Every city I've been to, you're right. Even Milwaukee, which I wasn't sure would be a cool city, is a
It is
very
a
cool
city.
city. It's Water Street for
Yeah.
them. Yeah, it's really cool.
Water Street, Bay Street. It's always by the water.
Yep. I've said this so many times, but Austin, Nashville, Jacksonville. So two of those cities are super well known for being awesome cities with a lot going on, a lot of innovation. All three cities are big cities and tax-free states with the river flowing through the heart of downtown. Two of them are thriving. One of them is not. We have it.
What's the problem?
I don't. Yeah. Well, that's the $1 million question. Probably the $1 billion question.
Yeah. I think it's, we have great people here, but we also have not so great people here.
Mm.
And, I know a lot of these people that work downtown. I call them city people, that maybe they work for the government. Maybe they work for some nonprofit that they get 100% of their government funding from government. They're
Yeah.
city people. And I look at them, I'm like, what do you do? Like, right? No, and there's no confusion in what I do. Like, it's pretty obvious. And like, and they got all these awards and they're winning this and they're having this. And I'm like, what have you accomplished? Why do I need to ask the question? Like, what has DIA done? They just appropriate money. And so I think a lot of these people need to be replaced. And we need people. If it feels like the people that design the city don't live here, you know,
Yeah, I can see that.
like,
I can see why you would say that.
why are you building an emerald trail? Like, who wants to walk through the worst neighborhoods in downtown Jacksonville? Who thought that was a good idea? Who thought Navi was a good idea? Like, these people aren't from here, or there's some scheme that they're just siphoning money. Like, it's incompetence or it's fraud. I don't know which one.
For somebody who hosts a lot of social events and gets the opinions of other people and talks about topics like this, you're very politically like active in terms of being in part of these discussions. Do you have any political aspirations yourself?
I just feel like a politician because my dad, he was chairman of the GOP for 30 years, or he was in politics in New Hampshire for 30 years. I've been around it and I act just like my dad. He's a politician. So I'm like, I don't want to be a politician, but I feel like I just fit the mold. Like, I've been told I'm charismatic. You know, I wear the suits. I love dealing with people, making deals. I'm not really a businessman as much. I just identify with politicians. So I'm just going to do my thing. And if the door opens, then we'll run through it and get fired at it.
I've been here. I'll be here. February will be 20 years. So I've been here 4 times as long as you.
Yeah.
What do you want to know about Jacksonville? Like, what, if I was to give you an opinion on a topic, what would you want to hear?
I want to know how downtown's been. Everyone says, oh, it's always coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's still coming, or is it like,
Yeah, that's actually such a fair question for somebody who hasn't been here as long. This year, 2026, and I'll talk about the timing of this. This year is the first year there's cranes in the air. We're building stuff. It's moving forward. Whereas before, it has always been a city of renderings. Now, the reason I was talking about the timing and I was laughing, there's an election coming up in March, and it just feels a little weird that this is the timing that it finally gets to go like forward. We ripped out the landing. I don't think you were here for the landing.
no?
The landing before it became crime ridden was awesome. It was so much fun. Concerts that were free. It was this big like auditorium looking building that had levels to it. There was a Hooters in there, Cowboy Bar in there. It was one of those places you show up and there's 50 rooms to go into.
That's what we need.
Yeah. And so we had it, and then dude, crime was bad. People were getting stabbed and shot, and to the point where just nobody used it. And like nobody went there. Nobody went to Hooters. Nobody went to, I forget what the Cowboy Bar was. But that's what is now Riverfront Plaza. So, it took a while. That place on the riverfront was just grass after the landing for a long time. And now they got the Riverfront Plaza going. All the apartments and condos and stuff that are going in, the Pearl Street Square. I live downtown. So this is like, for me, this is the first time I can see things coming together. And the guys who own Deca, Keen's, SIP, like they're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job. I like that.
Yeah. And the sounds of it, the Culinary Institute's coming in and they're going to build it right by the Hyatt. And the premise there is they graduate and they get entrepreneurial and they open restaurants downtown. So the concept is there. But forever, I remember posting whenever they said that they were putting a Starbucks downtown, I remember posting on Instagram the rendering. I was like, dude, this is a swanky looking Starbucks. And it never came. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. But dude, outside of the Poor Taproom project and the SIP Deca Keen's project, there really still is nowhere to go.
No, I just feel like it's a lack of leadership. And, I don't know, you can tell me, but all of our past mayors nobody's been like, that mayor was awesome.
Yeah, they've been bad.
They've been bad.
They've been bad.
And, they hire bad people and bad things. It's just all been bad.
I can attest to that. They've been pretty bad.
So we don't have we don't have somebody saying, hey, this is now a culinary city. Everyone with every chef, we're bringing chefs in. We're doing outdoor Asian markets or whatever. Like we're doing this. There's nobody set in the direction here. Like, what is identity? What's the vision of Jacksonville? Who's carrying the banner?
Yeah, that's a great question. But downtown is further along today than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And much further along than it was 20 years ago. We are obviously substantially further away from what the ideal state would be. So to answer your question, further along, yes. Anywhere, I mean, you go downtown, there's nothing special about it. You clean behind the Florida Theater, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
No.
There's nothing there. I know that I think I've seen you do projects. You almost do it like bi-weekly or monthly or something. You out there?
We do it like bi-monthly. Yeah,
bi-monthly?
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Now, this has nothing to do with the city leadership or anything. I freaking love the Florida Theater.
Yeah.
I will go out of my way to go to the Florida Theater. And interestingly enough, the Florida Theater is the 4th largest revenue generating building in the state of Florida that's not like an arena or stadium.
Wow.
So if you go to a concert anywhere in the state of Florida that's not like Everbank Stadium or the ViStar Arena, it's the 4th largest generating venue. No amphitheater or anything else like that kind of comes close to it. It's iconic. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so much fun. They've done so much work with the renovations. But like the guy who was the president CEO, his name was Numa. That's him. He did that. Like that, the city didn't do that. So there's things downtown that are iconic that I would go to in a heartbeat. But like, would I take a scooter from my apartment to like Forsyth and Laura?
No, and that
No.
and that's what the Florida Theater, the Cowper Chop House, like that whole block needs to be made incredible.
Yeah.
And that alleyway is really, that's why we clean it, because it looks so cool. It has the graffiti with the Bank of America in the back.
Have you been to the Dapper D's that they put in next door?
I walked.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
So the downstairs, it's 2 separate entrances. The downstairs entrance is like food. It's cheesesteaks. And they cleaned it out real nice and put in like upper scale upholstery and stuff like that. And then the second entrance, you walk up a flight of stairs and it's a cigar bar. And it's really well done. There's a really nice bar up there. It's like a three shelf bar. The bartenders were dressed super nice, upscale. So like you have Calford, Dapper D's, and then I think it goes in like Ocean Street Tacos, which
arcade bar,
which could be done better.
Yeah.
Dos Gatos is right there. And like that to me is a cult thing. If you walk in there, it's great. One of my favorite places downtown is the Volstead.
Yep.
But it's one of those things like it's its own thing. Like you go to the Volstead, you don't go downtown, walk the streets, and then end up at the Volstead. You go downtown to go to the Volstead. So that part's tough. Now, one of the big projects that just finished up last year was the transformation of the Union Terminal warehouse. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then
but it's kind of tucked away though. Like,
it is tucked away.
And it's like if you want to go anywhere, you gotta cross a bunch of stuff.
100%. So it is out of the way. But if it's the start of something bigger, cool. And inside the Union Terminal warehouse, there's the apartments, there's the co-working, and in the middle, this gentleman, Phil Rogacki, I forget his last name. He owns a coffee shop called Morning Oil Coffee. And he put the coffee shop inside Union Terminal. And what he does is every morning he fills up a Gatorade bucket full of coffee and takes it to all the construction sites downtown and just hands it. It's so Ron Armstrongish, dude. He just goes to all the construction sites. Morning Oil is marketed to the trades, the blue collar trades.
Yeah.
So he goes to all the construction sites, all the plumbers, all the roofers, and just coffee. Just gives it away.
It's good market. Yeah, buddy,
I love
a Kava bar that did free tickets, and now I'm a Kava addict.
Yeah,
and
I've never had it.
Yeah,
is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's cool.
Okay,
it's not like alcohol though. It's like you get more social a little bit, but you don't have the inebriation. Like you can't drink too much.
Oh, that's good.
Like you can't drink enough.
Yeah, no, that's good. So downtown, we can put a bow on the downtown thing. There's room for improvement.
Yeah, and the last thing that needs to be touched up, they can make all these cool things. but there's still a lot of homelessness down
There's a
there.
ton of homelessness. You are
And
correct.
I'm sorry if the girls don't want to go down there
Mhm.
because they're scared of the homeless guy. And I've heard about some homeless guys like
Yeah.
sniffing my friends, and like they don't want to be down there. So
Yeah.
if they don't move that racket somewhere else, then
That's another thing I have to agree with you on. There's
yeah,
just that has to be taken care of. The Jefferson Street area is
yeah,
just, man, and over by the arena, the underpass,
yeah.
and
I found a bag of meth or crystal, like blue crystals, when we were doing
clean
one of
it
our
up.
cleanup projects. And it's like, dude, nobody wants to be around a meth head high guy that's
Mhm.
crazy. You know, it just ruins everything.
When you see that, do you throw it away or do you call the cops?
I just threw it away.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that.
Yeah. What part of Jacksonville? For me, it's the Neptune Beach, Atlantic Beach Town Center. That's my favorite
That's
part.
my favorite part.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
restaurants,
Yeah.
and even that's blown up.
Yeah.
Like they've put in more and more and more and more restaurants. And even when I think they don't have space, they continue to find
Yeah.
places to put restaurants. And then the old, like even the marquee ones, the ones that have been around for 100 years, like Pete's, they refurbished,
Yeah.
dude. They went in there and got all the smoke out
Yep.
and made it like they built that back patio so that you can now, if you walk into Pete's, like you can grab a beer and walk outside
Yep.
in the back and sit outside and enjoy the weather that you love so much.
Yep.
I just love that area, man. You can
Fantastic.
literally park and walk anywhere. The beach is right there, the Lemon Bar, Pete's, the One Ocean place if you want to go in, like if you want to have a spa day.
Yep.
The locals there, Poe's my favorite burger in Jacksonville.
The Grand,
The Grand,
that new coffee shop next to the Grand.
303,
Yep.
Coop 303.
Living room lounge.
Yes. They have Hawkers there, which I love.
Yep.
They have Flying Iguana there, which I
Oh,
love.
me too.
North Beach Fish Camp, which I love.
Yep. The Door.
Mezzaluna, yeah.
Salamaria.
And if you want a cigar, they've got a
Wits.
what do they have there? What's the cigar bar?
Island Girl.
Island Girl, thank you, because there's a couple of those. Dude, I just think
It's fantastic.
It's the best.
That's the best part in America right there. I love it. And I don't really get along with the city of Atlantic Beach that much because they just try to take my permits away all the time. But you know, that's I like how they're trying to not go too crazy because it's really amazing how it is now. But
Yeah.
it's so good that people are going to figure out about it. And it's just like,
Yeah.
might as well, dude, just let's go all in.
Parking is a mofo. Like people
Yeah.
have figured out about it. It is
Yeah.
like you just pray you can get into the valet.
Yeah.
The only thing, did you ever get to go to Ragtime?
One time I went, yep.
I hate that it shut down, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh, it
It was
kills
too
me.
big.
It was then condense it. Then
Make it into 3 different restaurants or something.
saw it off.
Yeah.
Give half the building to somebody and take the other half. Ragtime was cool.
Yeah.
And it was historic.
That's the most prime piece of real estate in
Yeah,
Jacksonville, right
man,
there, other than
dude.
One Ocean, I guess.
Dude, I miss Ragtime. I don't mind being on record saying that. I miss it.
Yeah.
It was the Cougars. That was their home base, dude. That was,
Be careful, Cougars, okay?
that was their home base. All right. So that's going well. I'm trying to think of other areas, man. Like the town center just got a little too like box story for me.
I like the town center.
Before you got here, there was a whiskey bar owned by Dale Earnhardt. So what is currently the wine place, Cooper's Hawk,
Yeah.
used to be a country bar. And then across from that was a nightclub called Sweet. And next to that, and I forget what overtook it, was a place called Blackfin. And then where the sugar factory was a restaurant called Brio, and it was big. So you could park and you can go to any of these establishments. And they all had patios and they all had social nights. Like Friday night was drinking night. You would go out, 904 happy hour, show up to all of them, take pictures. And all of them, because of rising rents, all of them had to shut down. So the country bar shut down, Blackfin shut down. Even Brio, which turned into Sugar Factory just shut down. And then Sweet, they had 2 killings in a week. And so they had to shut down.
Yeah.
And so like that guy, the Cooper's Hawk, like I'll go to Cooper's Hawk, that's fine. But it like Blackfin turned into a furniture store. Sweet turned into a nursery store for mothers and babies. But everything else is like big box. It's not nightlife. It doesn't have to be nightlife. I don't need to party. I don't drink. But the one thing that's cool about going to Neptune Beach or Atlantic Beach is like I'll go stand on the patio and talk for days. It's hard to do that in a Best Buy. You know? So that's the town center for me. But
I like town center. I like to meet people there because it's in the center of town.
it is.
It's easy for everybody to get there. 20, 30 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah. But the place that I think is really up and coming is by the town center on Gate Parkway where the block is.
Oh, yeah.
So the block's great.
Fourscore, V's Pizza,
Foxtail,
yeah.
14 Prime.
Yeah.
Yes, all of that. The sidecar next to V's, like, dude, that part's coming up. San Marco's great.
Yep,
Riverside.
San Marco's great.
Yeah.
Riverside's done. I don't like it. It's over.
Well, too many, like, what would I call them?
Hoodlums?
Marquee establishments, like the ones that were like the ones that were like anchor places in Riverside have shut down. So like that made it very difficult. In the last few years, a lot of like well-known establishments in Riverside don't exist anymore. So for me, if like, and the reason I'm bringing all this up is if I had family flying into town, where am I taking them? Neptune Beach, San Marco, and St. Augustine.
That's it. You're leaving. You're coming here and you're leaving.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. On the May 28th, so my family flew into town because on May 28th was the 40 under 40 ceremony, and I was super honored that they selected me for that. But I will tell you, the day after the ceremony, I took them to St. Augustine.
Yeah.
We spent the day there.
Which is a great place.
It is.
But we make Jacksonville like St. Augustine.
Yeah.
It's like, it's easier said than done. I understand that. But when we're spending $200 million on JTA and $400 million on the Emerald Trail, you're looking at all this other dumb stuff, like these parks that they're doing. Why don't we have a boardwalk? Why isn't there a Ferris wheel? I looked it up. It's $13 million. Why isn't there a Ferris wheel on the end of our pier? Why is it just a blank, empty pier with nothing?
We used to have one.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's been like 70 years or 80 years, but we used to have one.
But it's iconic to me. If they wanted to be like, oh, we're spending $60 million on Navi to attract this, like, well, why don't we make a postcard? Like, put a Ferris wheel there and make it awesome.
Yep.
And have fireworks every once in a while. And like, I stage photos. That's why I stage photos all the time. Like, stage some really cool photos. People are like, where is that? That's Jacksonville, people. Hello. We have a boardwalk, Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
No, we have a fishing pier. Hey.
It's hard to argue with you.
And I don't know, like maybe it's the residents are like, oh, I heard a lot of people like, I'm from out of town and they're like, we like it, stay away, we don't want any more people. Like, it seems like a lot of the culture here is mediocrity.
Yeah. Some of it's like just country club. Like, I just tuck me away in my neighborhood.
They're retired and they're like, we're good, we're chilling, we just want to go to our country club and play golf, and then someone like me comes in here like, let's make it the best city in the world. Like, no, we're done here. Like, so
what else is top of mind? What else you want? I'll give you any opinion you want.
What do you think about Jax Beach and the beaches over there?
I love Jax Beach. I loved it way more when I was 22.
Yeah, as a young person.
It is. There's not an establishment in Jax Beach I haven't been kicked out of. I can attest to that. Lynch's, I've been kicked out of Lynch's 20 times. But it's like a rite of passage, man. Like, what is the place? It's not Brick, the Ritz. The Ritz is known for kicking people out. Like,
nice.
So I would have one beer and they would
smash it on the ground.
Dude, no, I would just have one beer and they'd be like, your eyes look glossy, get out. And like, they do not play.
Wow.
So it is a rite of passage to get kicked out of the Ritz. But it's tough about Jax Beach because all the things that I knew about Jax Beach, Shim Sham is not Shim Sham anymore.
Fuck easy.
Whatever it is. There used to be this like Chicago pizza place, and I think it was called Chicago Pizza. And you walk in, you think you're going to just eat a bunch of Chicago pizza. They serve it, but it was really just like a huge bar, and it was nice. And the Atlantic was super nice. The thing that was on the backside of the Atlantic that was beach facing was super nice, but some of those things just don't exist anymore. So there's the staples like Mangoes and Lynch's that people like, those are the dive. Hoptinger doesn't exist anymore.
He doesn't?
I just went there the other day. It's a co-working space. Isn't that crazy? The one in the one in 5 Points still exists, but the one unless I just looked at it wrong, and I don't think I did, because the first thought was, holy shit, Hoptinger isn't there.
Dang.
And dude, Hoptinger had memories, man. The first time I got drunk and ran into Blake Bortles was at Hoptinger, and like, what a guy.
I heard
you just go to the beach bars, and
That's another thing that bothers me about Jacksonville is, like, the football players are not accessible here.
That is true.
There's no famous people in Jacksonville, there's no influencers. You're not gonna run into anybody. I go out every night of the week. I never run into anybody ever.
Well, you're probably the closest thing to an influencer in Jacksonville.
Exactly. Why?
So,
How is that possible?
well, that's the thing. If you were an influencer, let's say you pulled out your cell phone and you did the video of you walking and then you flipped it around. You're like, oh, this margarita is so great. And look at this view and look at this place. And you need to come here and all this other stuff. Where would you do that at?
I don't know.
I'm answering your question. That's why it doesn't happen. Like, where would you
Yeah,
even think to do that?
exactly.
Neptune Beach? Yes.
I get
Lemon
it,
Bar?
but it's like it's cool, it's great, but it's not like out of this world. It's not like unique to America.
That's what I'm saying. That's like if you're in New York City,
Some crazy
you're
stuff.
never gonna go to the same place twice,
No.
right?
Yeah.
You go there for 2 weeks, you're gonna go. You'll never see the same place twice. So it's interesting to pull your phone out and do that. Washington D.C. iconic mother effing architecture, dude. And the other thing too is when I went to D.C. the last time, I went speakeasy hunting. It was the funnest thing I've ever done in my life, man. Like, oh, what is this door? Does it lead to anything? That's a bar. That is like, but it's not supposed to be. I did that in Louisville, Kentucky too. I took my friend Shedrick on the Bourbon Trail for his what we called his bachelor party, but it was just me taking him out before he got married. We didn't make a big deal out of it, but we went into different buildings, dude. And if you like found the trap door, you could find a whole different situation again. Jacksonville doesn't have.
No, and that goes back to my thing. There's like a lack of leadership. There's no promotion of this city, and there's no like, hey, we're gonna be the speakeasy city. We're gonna be, we're gonna be the beach walk city. We're gonna be. There's nothing. I don't know what makes our city unique. We have a river that's kind of brown. We have beach. I've been to a lot of beaches.
Yeah.
Our beaches are average.
Yeah, so the river bothers me a lot too because I'm from Austin, and because if you went to downtown Austin, everybody's in the river. They're
Yeah.
paddle boarding and they're surfing, not like surfing, but they're like, yeah, I guess maybe that's just paddle boarding, but they're swimming and they're boating.
You can't swim in this river. The tide's too strong.
Yeah, and it's nasty.
It's nasty.
I went fishing there a couple weeks ago and I pulled out a bicycle. I thought I caught something huge.
You did.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh, dude, I remember I was like, get the freaking net, dude. This thing is massive. I can't even pull it out. And it was a bike. Unbelievable.
It's just, yeah, there's not that many attractions. There's no Busch Gardens, which they don't want here. I can't think of anything that makes Jacksonville unique. I love living here.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Him?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. We'll edit that part out. All right. I'm going to walk through. I told you I had some rapid fires for you.
Okay. Sweet.
And so I'm going to hit you with these. It sucks. All right. Beaches or San Marco?
Beaches.
Okay. Where's the best? If you were going to take somebody out for tacos, where are you taking them?
I guess Taco Lou.
I do love Taco Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taco Lou.
The Carne Royale.
Yeah.
It's my favorite taco. But the Surf and Turf at
Cantina Louie is pretty good
it's up
too.
there.
I like.
What's the most underrated neighborhood slash section of town? Like we talked about the town center or Neptune Beach and stuff, but like what's the one area where you're like, it's not as bad as people think it is, or it's not talked about enough?
I think I really like Avondale.
Avondale's really nice.
Avondale's really nice when you can walk up and down, and they have those huge trees. So in the summer, you can walk up in the neighborhoods with the dog or something, and not destroyed by the sun.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Avondale. We were talking about architecture earlier. It's the way it's set up, dude. I just love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you don't drink, you wake up early. Do you caffeinate?
Yeah.
Do you do coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Where's your favorite place to get coffee?
Oh man, I'm not like a coffee snob. I like black coffee from the gas station.
But I'm going to preface this. The context is they're nervous as shit. They don't know how to network. So you and I can walk up to anybody, shake their hand and be like, hey, what's this? What's that? What's the most unique thing about you? But most people who are nervous, they have a default. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. If you were to advise somebody, walk up to somebody, spark a conversation, what do you tell them to do?
Where are you from? Especially here in Jacksonville, most people are transplants. So, and it works really well for me because I've been to a lot of places. And if you say, oh, I'm from Austin, I'm like, oh, what do you think about 6th Street?
Mhm.
I can talk about it. And so if you haven't been anywhere, I'm not sure if that's the best question, but that's my go-to. And
Yeah.
usually I can draw something out of them that never leads to what do you do?
You really can, even if they haven't left.
Yeah.
What's
I'm from Jacksonville. I'm like, oh,
what's keeping you here?
yeah. What do you think about
Yeah.
it? What, do you like it?
Yeah.
Some people love it and some people hate it.
If somebody
Well,
told
why
me,
do you live here if you don't like it? Well, this and that and the other. Oh, so you love your family, blah, 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 down the rabbit.
if somebody told me that, I would say, what's keeping you here?
Yeah.
That would be like, and then they'll be like, oh, I really like to golf. I really like to fish, which are things I love to do. So I can
Yeah.
talk about that for days.
Yeah.
My ask is what's keeping you busy? So I really have completely and utterly gotten away from the what do you do question.
I never ask it.
And I'll tell you why. Maybe you're the same way, but I'll tell you exactly why. If I ask you what you do and you tell me, inherently I have placed a value on who you are. And it's a bias that I don't want to have.
Yeah.
If you tell me that you're a bank teller, or if you tell me that you're the
CEO,
CFO,
yeah.
I look at you, or I'll assign my line of questioning differently, and I freaking hate that. I hate that about me because it's a bias I don't want to have, but I have it, and I think most people do.
Yeah. And also with the thousands of events that I've been to, most people have boring jobs and they don't like their job. I read a Gallup poll like a decade ago. I don't know if it's still the same, but 80 something % of people don't like their job. So you're asking them to describe something they don't like.
Yeah.
And that's your first impression.
That's true. So when I say what's keeping you busy, it could be that there's a garage project, or they're building a pergola, or they just took the family on vacation.
My garden. Oh,
Yeah.
I play volleyball. Oh, you play volleyball? Have you ever heard of Jax Social? It's only
Yeah.
$62. And then August 8th is the next sign up.
Shameless plug. If somebody you met for the first time, if there was one person in Jacksonville you had to introduce everybody to, who would it be? Who should everybody know?
Maybe Pastor Joby.
Joby Martin.
Yeah, from 1122. I
Yeah.
don't know him. I met him once or twice. I would think of him or Ron Armstrong, someone I like Ron because he's in the weeds of the community. He seems like a people person.
I have a fun fact about Ron Armstrong. Ron Armstrong announced he was running for mayor on PB JAX.
Did he? Nice. Yeah. No, I like Ron a lot. I think he's a good guy. He doesn't have a political background, so he's not really, told what to do.
I also wasn't expecting it. So when we did it, PB and JAX, we were just going to talk about sponsored by Grace and then Grounds of Grace.
Yeah.
Never once did it ever like, hey, by the way, at the end of the interview, I'm going to
That's
talk
awesome.
about running for mayor. So that kind of threw me for a loop. But dude, I'm rooting for his success. Maybe I'm not rooting for him to win or lose. I don't have like a endorsement to give, but I want good things for him.
Same here. And I like that he is starting the grassroots movement. I don't know if he's going to win, but I like the fact that he is starting it and people are jumping on, and maybe, if maybe it doesn't work out, Donna Deegan, incumbent, that's really hard, and everyone she seems to be doing well.
Also, people that don't pay attention to politics at all will see the cranes in the air and say like, oh, we finally have some progress.
Yeah.
So she has that going for her.
But at least,
for sure,
hopefully he can ride the momentum maybe for the next election cycle, or somebody else can jump on it. He's got a lot of support and a lot of people know him. So I like what he's doing a lot.
Good. What's one networking rule people should break? What should people stop doing?
I can't even think of what are the networking rules.
I'll give you one. I think people need to stop taking business cards everywhere.
Yeah, bro. I've been to literally, I've hosted 500 myself and then 200 volleyballs. And then I've probably been to another 500. I don't bring business cards anywhere. It's not a good way to connect with people.
It's not. First things first. I got caught up in this trap a long time ago. You feel that if you hand out all your business cards, you've connected with 50 people. In reality, you've connected with zero.
Yeah.
You've handed them your business card. They have access to you now, but you've given them no value or any reason to contact you at all. Like there's nothing to give. So my big one is people need to stop carrying business cards.
Yeah. I will take a business card and then I'll add you on LinkedIn and then or Instagram or something like that. That's the best. I like social media because like the impressions, you'll see someone over and over and over again, and you start to get to know. Like, right, you saw me for how long before you met me,
Quite a bit, and it took an introduction for us to, like, really talk.
right? And so I
Uh
like to use that.
Yeah, we met we were told to meet, we were put, it was a text intro, and then we met in person at the DeSantis signing,
Yeah,
when he signed the bills,
I was.
and he freaked out when they asked him what his definition of DEI was. The news at the back when
Yeah,
at the end, he was like, "I'll take questions." They go, "What's your definition of DEI?" And he, like, stormed on about how it's a rail against white men, and then he, like, said, "Okay, press conference over," and he stormed off. What in the world? What did I just see? That's when we met, man.
yeah.
That was cool. All right, my favorite question, and really my last question, is what piece of advice would you give somebody who knows that they need to be more social or they know that they need to do more networking, but they're petrified to go to an event alone?
It's just a skill, like, you have to do it over and over and over again, like, there's no magic thing, it's like going to talk to girls, like, you're not gonna read a book and then go talk to her, and you just have to go,
Yeah.
and I would recommend a sport would be easy, and
Mm.
then you can meet people that way, like, people meet in my volleyball league, it's so easy to meet people, it's the easiest thing I've done, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of events, and if they don't play sports, some other something where you sip and paint or something, but you have to go to the same thing over and over and over. That'd be probably be the best tip is like, don't go to this BNI and then this chamber and then this and that.
Yeah.
Go to the same exact event week in, week out and see the same people and start getting familiar. Sometimes too, you can just go to an event. I've met people that come to events, didn't say a word to anybody for the first one. And then they came back
Mhm.
to the next one. I was like, hey, what's up? You know,
They got a little more comfortable and
yeah,
stuff
just
like that.
go.
Yeah. Okay. What is Facebook, Instagram, Meetup, like, what's the best way for them to find events in general? Like, if somebody was just moved to Jacksonville, they're alone, they're trying to go to these things, like, what's the best place for them to start?
Facebook and Instagram. Yep. And you just dig around.
Go to Jack Social?
Yeah, that's the problem here with Jacksonville. There's no like main promotion where all the events are. You have
Yeah.
to if you're in the know, it's amazing and you know everything. If you're not in the know, you're like, this place sucks. Like how many people have said to you, Jacksonville's boring, you know?
Well,
A lot.
more than you'll ever know.
Yeah,
Uh,
a lot.
the one I will tell you this just because of this podcast, because this wasn't aimed to dump on Jacksonville. Jacksonville's been very good to me. But the reason Jacksonville's been very good to me and what I love the most about Jacksonville is that people can build meaningful businesses here,
Yeah.
and they have. And so, for me, it's if I'm trying to be social, you're right. Jacksonville is not a
It's not
place
that
for
social.
it's not a big social town. But for me, my thing is I want to engage with entrepreneurs and help them succeed. And for that, Jacksonville has given me everything.
Where do you find entrepreneurs?
Now, because of where I'm at PB and JAX, it's introductions. People introduce me to people all the time now. Out of the gate, when I started PB and JAX, my first 5 episodes I lined up in advance. I wanted to make sure like I didn't have one and then have to go ask somebody else and then have that one and then go ask somebody else, because when you're that early on and you don't have the tools or the network capital, it's really easy for people to say no.
Yeah.
So I lined up the first 5. After that, I had no idea what I was going to do. So it was kind of like it was introductions. There were people who had a really cool story that if I knew that they were connected with somebody I also knew, I would ask that person to make the intro. Oftentimes when you lead with value, and this was the part of the business cards, is anytime I would go to like a networking function, I would say, hey, I'm Randall Thomas. I'm the host of PB and JAX. I shine a light on people that are building things in Jacksonville. And they're like, oh man, I have a company. I would love to be on the show. And like it helped that way. Now it's what you mean. People said Tim and Randall need to know each other. And whoever thought that was 100% correct. Me and you get along really well. And then we get to do this. Like Evan at DECA, like he's coming up in August. Yeah. At this point, you work the muscle. You go out, you shake hands, you kiss babies, you say the right things, you do the right things, you care. You lead with value every sense of the way. You don't ask for shit. You say, hey, like, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. Or this is what I do. Can I help you? Whatever. But you never say, like, man, I really need a client. Can you, like, help me do this? Like, so how did I do it? Authentic networking. And then this show being genuinely valuable to the guest, and which has allowed me to essentially meet anybody I've wanted to ever since. And I've been able to have city councilmen on, multiple. I've had the mayor of Jax Beach on twice. I've had Ron on, who's running for mayor, and I've just had some of the coolest conversations in the world. It all started with an idea and a desire to not give up on it. Kind of like you and Jack Social.
That's right. Never
Yeah.
give up. Never.
Dude, never.
Do you ever, what would be awesome is to host an event with all your
Yes.
connect every.
So I that was the big difference maker in PB and JAX, is that every 50 episodes, that's exactly what I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Nice.
I'll tell you what, on camera, and on this microphone, I'll make you a deal. So on the 50th episode celebration, I hosted my first 50 guests at the block. For the 100th, which will probably be at the end of this year, I'll funnel it through Jack Social.
All right, dope. Let's do it.
And we'll do PB and Jack's 100th episode celebration with Tim and Jack Social. And you tell me where you want to do it, and we'll just put it together. Let's do it. I'll tell you this: if anybody was a guest, a guest on the show, they'll have access to the event for free.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to come interact with the people that were on the show, they'll pay a nominal fee to get in to cover some costs. Yeah. And then let's throw a bash, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's freaking do it. Yeah.
It'll be so sick. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I live for parties.
Let's do it. I can't think of anybody I would trust to do that more than you. I mean that. So I would love if you did it for me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I've got people that we can bring in too.
Good.
Like performers and whatever, dude.
Even better. Cool. Man. Okay. Deal. All right. I'm gonna leave with this. It's so important to me that I end the show with gratitude. So for business owners, when I sit down and I talk to them, I say, hey, you made a choice to build. You built here, you planted your roots here, and you've hired people here. And for you specifically, you give people a reason to get out of the house. When a day and age where it is harder than ever to get out of the house, dude, people are glued to their phone, glued to their TV. There is a screen in their face all day, every day. Some people work from home, live from home, shop from home. The boxes show up on the front door. Their groceries show up on their front door. They have no reason to get out, which is very depressing. And there's a lot of studies on mental health and why it's important to get out of the house. And you have given the most glorified pathway for people to get out of the house. I commend you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for you. I'm glad we met. I'm so glad you came on the show to talk about it.
Thanks so much, Randall.
Yeah, dude.
I appreciate you.
Here, let's clink it one time.
Yeah.
Mineral water, baby.